our friends, our family,
Family.
our pals, our strange people who watch us.
We don't know them. They just left some water at our doorstep, and we were like, "Ooh, beer!" It's not beer. What are you talking about?
Mine's been spiked with vodka.
Well, it's not.
It's okay,
spiked.
kids. I'm 20.
The spiked edition's coming out next year, 2004.
I'm allowed to drink.
All right, now comic news.
We have comic news.
Should we?
Well,
Yeah,
we
what
should
we
have
do?
comic news. We're in a comic store.
Yeah, comic
Located at
connections.
417.
There you
Woodlawn.
go. Look at the
Oh, there we go.
our boss guy's smiling,
Like,
or he's
that's it,
frowning, or he's. Oh my God, his eyeballs are coming out.
He's counting the change he's going to give us for saying that.
Yeah.
I get a whole 3 cents. Score!
CBLDF joins.
I work hard
Media
for my money.
Coalition. The Comic Book Legal Defense Fund announced it has joined with Media Coalition, a national association that defends the First Amendment rights.
We do stupid stuff.
Okay. Anyways, therefore defending amendments rights and stuff to sell books, magazines, recordings, videotapes, video games. Video game guy, he became.
Jeff.
Your freaking store. You're sitting here acting like
I'm
a
just-
goofball.
I'm
You haven't
just-
plugged anything.
He's here.
You're plugging other people's products and not your own. Drink out water. Where do you work? EB Games.
It's Jeff from EB
What do you do for a living? I eat tacos. Squid? No, tacos.
Okay, I'll plug my store. 927 North Cable Road next to Walmart Clock Tower Plaza, 222-7002. Come see us and buy stuff.
Buy your video games. It's the place to be.
There you go. There's my plug.
Yay!
That was
That's pretty
lame.
nice. At least you didn't go through the fashion bug thing. Did
Thank
they come
you.
over and talk to you about that?
I was, yeah,
Did they really?
they hurt me.
Oh, wow.
You okay?
No,
All
I can't say anything else again.
right,
They made you wear socks, didn't they?
that's fine.
They wanted me to prepare a statement, but I declined.
Anyways, okay, well, the Media Coalition joined with them for, like, our rights or whatever, you know, for comic books, because predominantly comic books are for us. They're for, what, would you say
Apparently.
16 and older? I mean, because it ain't even just have to be
People
18.
believe that they're for kids, but you come into a comic store and you'll see right away, you know, these aren't for kids.
But Peacock Water is located at, no,
You need to get your kids
It's
to go
on,
early.
2390
But-
Beatty Road, Lima, Ohio, 45807. 1-800-58... They got all kinds of numbers on here. 1-800-5...
You just got to read the one that's closer to us, man, because we don't want people going to Bucyrus, Ohio.
Bucyrus, Ohio.
I mean, people who like watch our show are nowhere near
1-800-686-4573. Make some prank phone calls.
Can,
No,
maybe.
don't do that.
Upper Sandusky? I don't think people are going to Upper Sandusky.
It's Chad! I need a horn. This is too much.
Well, finish off your ball and you can use. Oh.
Remember, only you can control the pet population. Don't let them out to bite people or children. I don't know.
What?
I don't
I
know.
didn't think you knew.
But still, that old man's still a pimp after all these years. What are you doing?
If you have like a bottle or something, if you drink just so much of it, the air, if you blow over it, it makes a sound.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I
Go
didn't-
ahead.
I
No,
didn't
go
work.
ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead.
Right.
So you go.
Okay.
You happy? There you go, stupid.
Thanks.
Peanut with D-boy, still stupid. All right, read your.
Remind me about Michigan.
Now this is the thing that the CBLDF, the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund, is against, because stuff like this in Michigan, who has a new rule after in 2004, which means you can't read anything, you can't buy a book or anything, but you can.
Well, you can't if you're like underage or whatever, which I can kind of make sense of that. But in Michigan, they had this new law that they're going to put in action January 1st to make it illegal to display, or have any sexual explicit material to minors. You can't have it on display. You can't have it anywhere that minors could look at it or even be, enticed by it, which isn't too bad, I guess. But I mean, let's just shelter our children so when they do find out about that stuff, of course the parents aren't going to talk to them about it. Okay, mine did, but I was very, very young. And I was like, asking questions because I've seen something on TV. But they don't, kids nowadays don't have that, so they won't ask their parents. They'll just find out on their own, and then we'll have 15-year-olds with 3 kids. Now we just have 15-year-olds with 2 kids. The times are getting worse.
All because of the comic book law.
Yeah, it's
All because
It's
comic
a
books,
spiraling effect
video
that's going to lead
games,
to the
movie
apocalypse.
theaters.
it's the end of us all. It's because of Michigan.
If you think about, well, I don't know about that. But
Everybody's worried that California or New York's going to be the beginning of the
you
apocalypse.
know our you know what we
it's
do.
Michigan.
It's our same antics.
It's Michigan. Because, you can't display. Disseminate means sell, lend, give, exhibit, show, or allow to examine or to offer or agree to do the same for explicit material. Can't do.
Should we show something explicit? No, I mean not explicit.
Minor
explicit.
means
like,
less
hey, look
than
at
18
this.
years
This is
of age.
explicit. No, give me something that really isn't. But wow, we're going for anime there.
Yeah.
All right. Well. All right.
That
You, as of January 1st, I guess you can go to jail for this.
You gotta pay
Unless
attention
you're
to
covering
this.
2/3 of that cover up.
So,
Yeah. Minors, anybody under the age of 18. So and we know we got viewers out there that are under the age of 18.
Is that it?
That kind of stuff.
That's
See
how
it
it's gonna
now.
be shown?
You ain't gonna see it no more. Well, it's in Ohio. You can still see it, but oh my goodness.
What? Yeah, it goes on. The list.
No, I mean some of the stuff included is like Avengers number 71. Do we have that issue?
So that's how much
Right
got to
here.
be covered up. But usually our demographic is supposed to be, I would say the average is
see it,
16 and over. You know, there are comics for younger kids here. You know, we do have that.
The 71.
I don't see that.
All right. So Avengers 71 to Love Hina. I have the entire Love Hina series, and there's no nudity involved. You know, it's nothing like that.
But they even said they can go after if a book doesn't have a risque cover or whatever like that. If they say something that's really not really offensive, but it's insinuating something.
Yeah. Oh wait, see right
Like,
here.
What?
It says to Love Hina, which could arguably be seen as one extended Three's Company episode with an underage Jack Tripper and a school full of Creasy's and Janets. After all, in Volume 1, there's plenty of nudity. I have Volume 1 of Love Hina. There's no nudity. There's none at all.
It's not. I don't know. They don't.
Where do they have no idea what they're doing.
There's no-
That's Michigan for you.
Well, it's not like, there's a difference between,
shame.
now we're going to plug, there's a difference between like a Playboy and a Hustler magazine where, that is the story and the plot. It's just a chick who's fully nude in every way or whatever. Comic books rarely have that unless, it was meant to be that way in the first place.
And there's
they
always a
publish
rating
those-
on those.
They've published those types of books and, every story are not, Hustler.
Oh my goodness.
See, he's even shocked more.
I
than
am
I am.
because technically under law it can be argued that no minor, anybody under the age of 18,
Like me.
could legally buy anything from Watchmen, which is an unbelievable comic book series. It's a 12 issue. You
Which
can
I
collect it as a
read.
trade. It's just unbelievable. To Alyssa Kawitney's recent Sandman King of Dreams hardcover, which Sandman is just, I don't care how old you are, if you can read and you can understand what you're reading, you should read Sandman. It's just, it takes your imagination to whole new levels. That's just sad. All these, well, that's
Reason
from
to bring
Michigan.
I brought this to our attention is because most likely if one state, you gotta consider it a state, even though there's some states we don't like. Don't mess with Texas. You got it. I know everybody's like, hey, wait a minute. Hey, I have family down there, so shut up. Anyways,
That's just not right.
what, I have family down there?
No.
But it's just the fact if one state has to pass to an amendment, that means another one's going to follow.
it's soon to
Then
be
another
followed by
one's going to
others.
follow, and then next thing you know, it's going to be
Then after
a
comics comes
law.
other forms of media, we'll get to video games, which they've already started doing. You know,
which
but they have rating systems on video games.
And the rating systems is a good thing, though.
It is.
It's a nice guide for people who are
who
not
pay
gamers.
attention to them.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
and if you're working at a place where people actually care about their customer base and they don't want,
He's just plugging EV games
No, I'm not.
again.
No, I'm not. I'm not plugging anything.
He
but I'm just
cares
saying.
about the customer.
I'm just saying,
And their money. What?
Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, go. I'm sorry. Go. I quit. I have to do that. It's in me. It's like the army or something. I don't know.
The army's
The
nowhere near.
6-year-old kid brings a mature age game to the counter. Any self-respecting store is going to go, hey, was your mom or dad here? Or
Yeah, do they know?
yeah,
you're
can
buying
I
them?
make sure mom and dad's cool with this?
Yeah.
It's the people who don't care that cause problems for everybody.
Or the people
Yeah.
who think they know and they don't even ask questions.
That's right.
This is just a video game. Parents, they buy games, right? Every game is just like
Kids
Super
don't buy
Mario
games.
Brothers 3. That's one of my favorites. Every game is like that. So Grand
Get it
Theft
now at the
Auto
store.
is like that. So that means, if your kid tells you that, then it's okay. Because
That's
you
like
can't, because
saying-
parents can't read, mature, on the box. And parents can't read that, hey.
They're not. A lot of parents don't pay attention. They think it's a video game. It's like Mario. Like if it's a comic book, it's an Archie book.
It's animated,
Not
so
true.
they're not real people. It's not
and also
depicting real
movies,
people.
animated movies.
So-
And they think every animated movie is a Disney thing. It's not.
It
It's
is.
definitely
It is.
not.
Yes,
Akira
it
is nowhere near
Ninja
Disney.
Scroll Disney was made for that.
I think Disney would have a heart attack and kill over if he saw Ninja Scroll on his
Why
What do you mean
website.
kill over? The man's still alive.
Walt Disney just thawed out from that
Cynically
comment.
frozen.
You know?
I know this. I talked to his head.
If you're at least 17, you should watch Ninja Scroll. I think you should be able to handle it by then. I think I was 15 when I watched it.
That's
Probably
what's
explain a
wrong
lot.
with you.
Yeah, that's why he screwed up today.
Probably explain a lot of that on that one.
Parents, ask about the game. Ask what kind of action.
Ask
is
about
in
the
it.
game. Ask about the books. Ask about the movie. You don't take your kids and drop them off at a movie theater.
Thank you, David. Thank you
Well,
very
listen,
much.
you work at a movie theater, all right? We can't say which one or nothing, but I don't know. If
Everybody's
they're
like,
allowed.
well, there's two and there's 3 in Lima.
Oh, we can plug your movie theater in Ada.
Which is called what, the Ada movie theater? What's it called?
There's a movie theater in Ada. You can't.
The
miss
Ada
it.
Theater.
There's only one.
Put in rainbow thing.
But I've been in there, to watch movies, and I've seen these parents just drop off their kids. They're like 15 years old.
And they get
the
angry
only
at
thing
me.
playing at the movie theater is NC-17 movies. They're not gonna get in.
So before I yell at them and tell them to get the facts straight, I drink.
Peacock water. Peacock water, cooling you down every time you get a little hype.
It's good.
That's right.
That's for me? Comic Connections. You people should be calling us right now because the show will be on.
Did you see me? I was on TV. What was that? Well, I called them. Well, you're definitely a star now, aren't you?
You go. But yeah,
Hey, if you don't call us, then we won't know. I mean, he got a hold of us. He's on the show.
games. There are good things about
This could be
video
you if
games
they
too. I
kill
mean,
him.
it makes sure your child has some kind of dexterity and is sort of smart or whatever. Especially
Yeah.
if they can beat stuff like Metal Gear Solid and.
Well, that's insane.
I mean, but there's kids they're
Yeah.
14 and they should be playing this unless parental.
Well, you remember when we
guidance.
were younger, we were playing games.
Right, but I
and
mean,
our
games
parents
are more
couldn't figure it
evolved
out.
now. There's a lot more combat
Mario just
games
fell down
out
in the
there.
hole. What does your dad do?
Or games
Lose with it.
there's one game that's really good. Which one? I might get it mixed up. It's either Call of Duty or Medal of Honor. Those it's a first person
Medal of Honor.
shooter, but they're
Hey,
based
that
on
Medal of Honor
history,
just
U.S.
came out.
history, and that's cool because it is learning
Yeah,
part.
it's
But
factual.
And there's actual classes that I've read about in different schools where teachers will require their kids to play Medal of Honor Frontline from the perspective
See?
that they can experience what D-Day was probably like, because it's the most accurate thing where you're actually involved and entertained in the story. It's not like Saving Private Ryan
Yeah,
where you're
and
just
before-
watching it. You're
And
actually
before adults
involved.
get
And by
on,
interacting
before
with it,
adults
you
get
learn
on you
more.
right now with,
Well, sort of.
they're probably yelling at you. Well, a video game doesn't, tell the horror of it or whatever.
Mhm.
Well, you're not telling the horror to your children or explaining anything. You're just sitting there keeping it shelled up in your head. And kids are learning from video games and not
And
learning
from
nothing from
TV
you.
and from.
And from TV and the movie theaters and me.
Yeah, I mean, if they're not going to listen to you,
I'm going to
find something they will
brainwash
listen
them. I
to.
like
Video games.
little minions.
You like what?
And big minions. I don't know. You got to call them minions. You got to bring back old school 80s terms.
Oh, right.
Like when you were a
Lackeys.
gang boss and all that stuff. Me and my mid bosses and minions are going to get you, Alex and Jeff. Get ready for the fight of your life. That was on River City Ransom.
That game was awful.
I know, it was fun though.
You can download it as a
That's a
ROM.
classic.
I don't think you get into
That's coming
too
back.
much trouble.
There's a new River City Ransom.
Up to Game Boy Advance.
Game Boy Advance.
Yeah. They need to make one on the GameCube.
That'd be crazy.
See, and that was about fighting too, and in the streets and stuff. But
Yeah.
see, now in what did you say?
I said, yo.
I thought you called me a gimp. I was like,
I could do that too if you want
excuse
to.
me? You want to fight? Or there? But I mean, I don't know. Everybody's concept of video games still is like Nintendo 8-bit. some of the adults still.
Yeah.
So it's like they don't look like that no more, man. You know, they're not.
I think Grand Theft Auto pretty much shocked a lot of people by the way it is.
See, in most casual gamers,
it for travesties that happen, like
heck, we don't even think the game looks
but on
that
top of
good.
all that, though,
You know, graphic wise. I mean,
a game like Grand Theft Auto also brings credibility that video games are an art form and not just entertainment. You know, because when you can do something like that and convey a story and actually draw emotions just out of a game, it goes from being just entertainment up to something different.
Yeah.
And when
that's
you're
what a game like that does, even though it is controversial.
when the media is you know, blaming it for their children's mishaps of shooting someone or beating up someone at school, you know, and parents are using it. They're saying, well, my son spends, I don't know, 9 hours during the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, playing that game, and then they go to school, you know, and I thought, you know, the game was okay. I'm like, have you, you know, do you know what it's about? No. Have you ever played it? No. Do you have a son? I mean, because they're just in video game world and their own world. You're not in their world.
I like video game world.
Well, no, I'm not. You know, I'm not knocking against that. You're an adult. You should love video game world. Heck, we think there's a video game right now. I'm gonna shoot him. and then, you know, have 80s music. But you can't see. Okay, I'm not gonna shoot the producer.
Hey, Vice City's all about the 80s. That's what it is.
But
fun.
you know, you can't. And there's parents that will say, well, yeah, they'll even agree because they're in shock that they're a bad parent, and that they're in shock. Yeah, they're a bad parent, and then they'll be like, yeah, that video game did do it. That video game made my son do this. It's like, wow, you know.
About comic books doing that. Being a cause for such. But
not yet.
If there's a video game in a certain genre, there's a comic book in the same thing, you know. Yeah. It's just like if there's a movie about whatever, you'll find a video game about it, a comic book about it.
Yeah, all we're saying is just don't be a dumb parent that don't know anything. Don't be shocked after, like, you find out at the very end, oh my God, there was. You know, and this is how realistic Grand Theft Auto is. Whenever you're going around town and, you know, you're angry at people and you're walking around with a weapon, okay, someone would notice that if you're walking around with a AK-47 or something. I'm pretty sure someone will stop you. It'll be a cop.
Game, is it?
Two, there isn't no life bars or no medic things. There's no medic things laying behind the bush for me to get when I get hurt or beat up by the old lady or shot or something. I can't go grab it and be okay. That's why video games are still fiction and not, you know, realistic in the sense.
So you get beat up by old ladies a lot?
Yes, and I have to fend them off with a stick. See?
There's no medic packs for you.
Yeah, there's no medic packs for me. And the 80s music is playing in my head as it's going on. So do you know the trauma of that? No, you don't.
I can imagine.
No, you can't.
I play video games.
So the point being, it's just you know, if you're going after a game, and if you think anything about
it's a very informative episode.
It's a very special episode.
For the parents that don't know much. That's what we're here for, to inform you about this stuff, just because we get tired of the fact that once the blame is placed on, okay, the video games, then let's set up a new amendment law that bans them. Let's set up a new amendment law that says your parent has to, like, sit by you when you're 18 or 20 playing a video game, just to make sure you don't have some kind of, like, urge.
I don't understand why they're banning this stuff, the sexually explicit stuff to minors. I don't understand. What does it stop? What's the problem? I don't know it. You know, I don't understand where the problem is. You know, maybe stopping, you know, extreme violence or something. You know, that would maybe, I don't know. But with sexually explicit, I mean, they have to find out about it eventually. There's no way around it.
There's nothing sexual in a comic book or a video game. You can't see, like, watching daytime soap at, like, 11 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right.
It's on the same level, you know.
It's and I love
it's all soaps. The same, and that's okay, but this isn't, because blame has to be placed somewhere.
Right. I guess that's true.
It falls on your heavy shoulders, Dave.
Yes, because I work in a comic store. Very rarely. But it's all on my shoulders because I sell comic books to anybody who has money.
Okay, calm down now. You're gonna.
No, I don't sell them. We get little kids that come in here, and there's no way I'm going to give them like a Spawn book or something.
And there's kids. I mean,
No.
there have been times where kids, they'll bring up the subject of something where we're kind of in shock, like, oh, you're reading, about Ninja Scroll? Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't see Ninja Scroll at your age. How do you know it's cool? Yeah, I own it. I own the DVD and I own the extras and. I want to grow up and be on Ninja Scroll or something,
I want to grow up and be a noble samurai warrior.
Make out with
that
chicks
doesn't
and
sound so
stuff.
bad. At least you don't want to grow up and be in the army and shoot people. At least you have some honor, and you have to have skills to wield a weapon like that.
And there's video games that are going that route. They're training,
yeah,
people that way. Well, they call them simulations, if you want to be technical with it.
They do have army simulations, like that one game
Airplanes.
where you kill Saddam. Oh my God.
That's terrible.
I just don't understand. Like,
I don't think it's terrible.
That's a great
I
thing.
think
That's
it's terrible.
What?
I do. I
Really?
think it's terrible, that we can decide, let's put this blame on this one guy who's ruling this country. What's he doing against us? Not much, really, but I mean, he's doing stuff to people in his own country, even though that's his business, not ours. So let's make a video game. Let's put him at the end of the video game as this big evil boss, and you have to kill him. So we're training all these little kids to go kill this guy. That I have a problem with.
Okay, I can see I can see where you're getting at, because it's almost like we're brainwashing our own people to
hate somebody,
Right.
Why should we do that without the reasons for hating him? What's he doing in the video game? He's probably sitting down having tea, and you got to walk in and shoot him.
David, there was no reason.
No, I guess not, because I guess, like George Bush said, it's like
Watch
there's
out
one
now.
word. There's just this one word to describe how we're going to handle terrorism. That one word is to be prepared. I'm not kidding you. That's just one word on how to handle terrorism.
It's just
To be
that,
prepared. And I suppose that's how we're going to be prepared by
it's just
finding a scapegoat
we're in a
because of some other country's
we're in a
problems or
country
whatever, and
that we
direct
do
all our hate
love, but
towards
we
that.
also can get away with being fine with being hypocrites of ourselves. We're fine with it. We're
We're totally okay with that.
American way or whatever. Then we talk one way about something, but then like I said, when it comes to adult, if this is for to protect minors and to ban all this stuff. But if it comes to okay, let's say it's a 30-year-old man. Yeah, this is a 30-year-old man. Let's give him some porn. Hey, it's porn.
always,
I mean, look, and I got people in here going, yeah.
It's going to get to the point where eventually we won't even be able to do that.
Yeah, that is
know?
true.
I mean, what's some of the stuff that we're not allowed to do?
I know
now?
everybody's going to gasp when the porn age reaches. You have to be 25 or 30.
They were going to put the drinking age up to
Oh, she's
25.
okay with it.
So at 18 you can go in our country and fight some hate monger, and shoot and kill them. But when you get home, you can't drink about it. No, there's no drinking for you. No alcohol to celebrate.
Now you just no offense, but now you just sound like damn alcoholic.
Oh, I'm just saying, it's true. Back when, I think it was like World War I and World War II, you could be like 18 and go buy alcohol.
You wouldn't be sane if you didn't
You could
have
vote.
alcohol.
You could buy alcohol. You could drive at like 15 or 14 or something.
There was
There's no age.
Yeah.
Right. If you could drive a car, you could drive a
pass
car.
If you could pass the test. In fact, this is kind of a little off topic, but as far as the driving thing
We're always
goes,
off topic.
I remember my great grandfather telling me, basically you just went to the post office, signed a signature card, and you got your license. You paid 25 cents or whatever, and there you go. There was no test. There was no driving.
Which, of course, now, as he's gotten to like 80 years old or something, we would really wish he would have taken
You really should have had that test,
Well, that doesn't make sense, though. But, I mean, you can do all this, but you can't. You got to be 21 to drink about it.
Well, no, our progression of stuff is just...
We're restricting ourselves more
Well,
and more.
it's like
each
we're opening up stuff, but the more we open up something new, we have for one law, there's 10 counter against it.
Counter amendments to
it. And then there's another one. Oh, well, we can do that as long as you don't this. Oh, well, we can't do that.
Yeah, it's sure you can. You can't get arrested on
Sundays. And I have to tell you right now,
they can hold you.
We've said all this
Until Monday,
information that the adults will understand, but I'm pretty sure a younger person is probably lost in all this and probably well, what are they trying to say or whatever? That's what we're saying.
There's a show about the comic books,
It
man.
is, but it's just so much stuff going on.
This is actually some of the stuff we get into about that are in comic books and in movies and in video games. So This is what we do.
It can even argue with. Start going. All right. It can even go with even like say TV shows like westerns and stuff. Geez, a western they shot people. They shot plenty people. I've watched one western and I watched it for like 5 minutes where I did a body count. I did a body count and there was like 50 or 60 people that I saw, and it probably was the same person that got up and fell down over again. But still, the fact being, I'm like, here's one, here's two, here's three, here's four, and I'm like, well, this is stuff my grandpa grew up on. Now, I mean, I can understand it's different because I don't know, the way they express it more like, more emphasis on special effect and, let's show the blood coming out or something. And
well, it makes it more real. Back then, it was very, very fictitious in that, they didn't bleed, they were dead, but they didn't really show them being dead. Now that they really show you being dead, it gives you more of that emphasis that, yes, they are dead.
Speaking of being really dead, I'm going to completely U-turn this entire thing since he said there's, no time left.
Go for it,
guys.
guys.
Just because Halo 2 is coming out, way super
early.
I know
the first person, right along the line.
That's right. It's a mature titled game.
Mature
title. It has mature titled books that are spawned by it. Anyway, Halo 2, which was originally supposed to be released in April. Wow, is going to be a nice little Christmas gift for all kinds of people, and hopefully the day after Thanksgiving we should have it everywhere. Halo 2. And I have a Halo 2 video clip, so we're going to check that out.
Sir, just falling in inside our formation.
Son, I need you to calm down.
Additional contacts coming to engagement.
Picket to Rally Point Alpha.
Admiral, you can't let them maintain orbit.
I'm trying, General, but we've lost advantage within the lunar perimeter. My frigates are combat ineffective in the fighters. They don't have enough punch to take out a Covenant assault carrier.
Your pilot's led up. I'm asking you to retarget the orbiters.
And let more of them slip the kill zone? That's insanity. There's nothing more I can do.
Our defense is too intense. Our grid is maxed. I don't think we'll last another run.
Admiral, tell your men to hold their positions. Reinforcements are on the spoke.
The entire fleet is engaged, Cortana. With respect, what the hell sort of reinforcement have you got?
It's passing below your position, ma'am. Proximity 0.
What if you miss?
I won't.
Our final thought is we had too many final thoughts. Well, this is what I think about. Well, this is what I think about it.
Well, you know what I think about a lot? I think about playing Zelda. Because it's at home.
You know what, kids? Just go get a GameCube and play Zelda. Jeez.
That's a final thought worth having.
Until you see little goblin or moblins running
Ask
around.
your parents for GameCube this Christmas and get the Zelda bundle. It's a heck of a deal.
$99.99, 4 games in the system. Sweet.
It couldn't get any better.
Start off where games originated, or where one of the originator of video games.
Yeah, very innovative. That's where we are.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm D-Boy. It's Jeff. And that's Peanut. This is our show.
All right, see you next week where we talk about, I don't know, stuff.